A lot of clients have been asking me how to record vocals. So I thought I'd record a quick video to explain how to do that. So in this video, I'll go into how to record a full pro-sounding vocal arrangement, how to get a great lead by recording section per section, and then enhancing that lead by adding doubles, harmonies, and adlibs. For this video, I will be using Studio One, but you can apply this workflow to almost any DAW. Before you start, I recommend that you spend some time learning the vocals and that you know them by heart. And that means memorizing the lyrics so that you don't have to look at a lyric sheet while singing the vocals, and that you have a really good understanding of the melody and the timing of the vocal. That way, during the vocal recording session, you can actually focus on what I believe is most important, which is delivery and emotion. And I think emotion and delivery is something that listeners latch on to more than anything else in music. All right, we're here in Studio One, and we got to set up our session first. So we click New to open a new session. We give it a name. I'll call this one-shot tutorial. And in settings, I recommend that you pick 48 kilohertz as the sample rate and have a resolution of 24 bits. Then you could click OK, and then you go into the session. Now, first thing you want to do is import the instrumental that you are going to sing over. That can be very easy. You'll just find the instrumental on your PC and just drag it into Studio One like this. Next, we got to make sure that the BPM of the session matches the BPM of the song. So if you don't know what the BPM is, maybe you can ask your producer, or you can use a BPM counter to figure out what the BPM is yourself. But it's important that the BPM of the song is the same as the BPM of the session. Now, when you know the BPM, you can go down here and you can fill it in. I know this BPM is 130, so I'll set this BPM of the session to 130. And the cool thing is now when you turn on the metronome here, make sure it's blue. Now when you play the song, there's going to be this click sound that's going to be 100% in time with the song. And that's going to be nice to hold on to while you're recording vocals. Take a listen. The click. It's going to be useful when keeping time while recording vocals. Since we're recording vocals section per section, it can be useful to kind of map out the song so you know where each section starts and ends. We can do that by adding some markers. There's a button here. You click it, you click marker, and then you go to the start of the first verse, for example. I know that the first verse starts at measure 5. So I go to measure 5 here, and then I click plus here, and then I name this section verse 1, for example. I'll go throughout the whole song and I'll map out all the sections like this. Okay, next we want to make 2 tracks to record to. So I'll right click here, and then I'll click add a mono track, and then I'll name this track Rec 1, and I'll make another track that I'll call Rec 2. We're almost ready to record now, but there's one more important setting that you need to turn on, which is takes to layers. You can turn it on by clicking this cogwheel down here, and then making sure that this takes to layers button is blue. I already have it turned on, but if it's gray like this, click on it, make it blue to turn it on, and then you'll be ready to record. So next we want to set up the loop for the section that we're going to record to. We're going to start with verse 1. Verse 1 starts at measure 5 and ends at measure 13. And to set up the loop, we go to this light gray part at the very top of the timeline, and we click and we drag. Now, this loop is set up to start exactly where verse 1 starts, but that's not very useful because you usually want to have some runway before you start singing. So what I do is I take 2 bars in front and set up the loop like that, and that way you'll have 8 counts before you have to start singing, and that way you can take a breather and be prepared for when you have to start singing. Now, you can see that the loop that I set up is in gray. That means that it's not a loop yet. So to do that, we have to make sure it gets blue. There's this loop button at the bottom here. We click it, it turns blue. This thing turns blue, and now it's looping. So when we play, when it reaches the end, it will skip to the beginning of the loop. Check it out. And it jumped to the beginning right there. Great. Okay, now we're ready to start recording. And then we want to make sure that we're recording to the right track. To do that, you select the track and you see the circle button right here. You click it, it turns red, and then it's ready to start recording. You can see the green bar that's popping up there. It signifies that it's picking up my audio. So the track is primed to record my vocal, and we can start recording a couple takes of vocals. So I like recording 3 takes and then listening to the takes, thinking about what I could have done better, thinking about what I liked. Then I'll take those with me and record 3 more takes, do another feedback round, and then I'll record 3 more takes. I'll have a total of 9, and that's usually enough for me to work with. So I'll go ahead and record the first 3 takes. Excuse my voice, I'm not the best singer, but you'll get an idea of how the process works. All right, here we go, the first 3 takes. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh, it's a trip what you do to me. Feeling hot, want you all the way. Around you I ain't fireproof. Ooh. And then we'll go another one. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh, it's a trip what you do to me. Feeling hot, want you all the way. Around you I ain't fireproof. Ooh. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh, it's a trip what you do to me. Feeling hot, want you all the way. Around you I ain't fireproof. Ooh. Alright, cool. Those are 3 takes. And as you can see, what I recorded, this track expanded into 3 subtracks. So what I can now do is click these and I can listen to every take that I did. So let's have a listen to how that sounded and see if there's anything that I wanted to do better. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh. I'm not the biggest fan of the timing. I think it could be a bit tighter. Let's see if it's better in take 2. I'll pull up take 2 by double clicking that one, and let's have a listen at take 2. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh. Better in timing already. Let's have a listen to take 3. You've been stuck in my head all day, like a song but you want replay. Can't wait till I'm alone with you. Ooh. All right, I like timing and pitching of that one the most, so I'm gonna do something similar for the next couple takes. I'll just go to the start again and I'll record 3 more takes. So I thought of some feedback. I recorded 3 more times with that feedback in mind. Then did another round of feedback and recorded 3 more takes. And as you can see now, I have 9 takes in total. And then we are ready to move on to the next section. If you feel like you could do better and you want to do another round of 3 takes or you want to do a round of 4 takes, please feel free to do so until it's perfect. But usually 9 is a good amount where you're not like overthinking it and looking at every minute detail, where you're still kind of in the flow. So I would recommend 9, but if you want to do more, of course, you're welcome to. When we have 9 in total, we are ready to move on to the next section of the song. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll set up the loop by dragging here. And then we are gonna record in this Rec 2 track, just to make sure that nothing is overlapping. So I'll move through the entire song like this, and I'll get back here when I have that done. All right, I recorded the entire song, as you can see, start to finish, section by section. And now it is time to dive into the vocals and comp them. And comping is essentially where you go over each take and you go sentence by sentence, line by line, word for word, or even syllable for syllable, and you pick the parts that you like best and you combine them into one mega amazing cool sounding take. So let's have a look at the first verse that I recorded. I have all the 9 takes right here, and I usually go line by line and then I pick which lines that I like best. So let's have a listen to the first line, and I'll do that by selecting this part, clicking and dragging, and having a listen to it. You've been stuck in my head all day. Sounds pretty good, but maybe I like another section better. So I'll double click here so I can listen to this 7th take that I recorded. You've been stuck in my head all day. Yeah, I like the delivery a bit more than the first one that I selected. How about this one? You've been stuck in my head all day. No, I don't like that one as much. Let's check the last one that I recorded. You've been stuck in my head all day. No, I actually think I like this one best. So we'll stick with the 7th take that I recorded. And then I'll go to the next line and I'll do the same thing. And let's see how this sounds. Like a song but you want to replay. Timing's off. Like a song but you want to replay. That one's good. Like a song but you want to replay. I like that one even better. So we'll combine the take from take 7 with the second line of take 6. And we'll go through the whole first verse like this. Now usually going line by line like this is enough to get a great lead vocal. But sometimes I want to go into even more detail and I want to get into the word level or even the syllable level. We can do just that by zooming in and, maybe this last word here doesn't sound as good as I would like it to sound. So I'll listen to it in context. Day. So that's a bit weird. So maybe this day is better. Yeah, I actually like that one better. Let's check out the last day that I recorded. Yeah, I like that one even more. So as you can see, you can go into the word level, or for example, if we like this syllable here, we could go and select this syllable or this syllable. So you can get really, really detailed and pick all the perfect sections of your vocal, the perfect takes that you did, and combine them into one amazing sounding take. So once I've made my selection, I'll make a new track and I'll copy everything that I comped onto that new track. So I'll go ahead and right click here, add a new track, drag that all the way down, and I want to call this Fox lead for the lead vocals. And then this whole compilation that I made up here, I'll select it and I'll drag it into this lead vocal track. And I'm going to do that with the entire song. Doubles are a great tool to add more power to a section of a song. And what a double is essentially is just a copy of the lead vocal that you sing while listening to the lead vocal. And then you stack those doubles underneath or on top of the lead vocal and you'll have a more powerful, more spacious sound. Let's have a listen to this chorus that I just recorded. I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. It's not sounding bad, but since it's the chorus, I want this to be a bit more powerful, a bit more uplifting. So this is a great place to add doubles. So to do this, I'll add a new track. I'll name it Fox Dub Left. And I'll set this loop for the chorus. And I'll just do this first part because we're just demonstrating how it works now. But you'll see that I'm just going to record right along with the lead vocal. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Right? And then I'll create another track. I'll name this one Fox Dub Right. And I'll record that same lead again. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Alright, got two doubles now. Normally we would of course do this for the whole chorus. And I'm actually going to go ahead and record all the doubles for this song. Okay, record the doubles for the whole song. I did some quick mixing as well. I panned the doubles left and right for a more spacious feel. And let's have a listen to how that sounds. I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Sounds already way more powerful, right? And like a chorus. So we can also have a listen to this without the music. Let's listen to it solo, just the lead vocal. I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. And then we'll add the doubles on top of that. I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take. It's like a whole group of people singing. It's what a chorus is called, I believe. Now with doubles, again, it's quite important that you really sing the same thing as the lead vocal. So the timing should be the same and the pitching and melody should be the same. Of course, as similar as humanly possible, but if you really have a tight double, then it can really make the whole thing sound more powerful. And if it's not that tight and not as similar as the lead, it's going to sound a little bit messy. And next we are going to record harmonies. Harmonies are a great way to add even more power and spaciousness to your vocals, but it can also make for a nice shift in vibe and tone. It usually works great to make a section sound bigger. So for this song, we're going to record two very easy harmonies for the chorus. we're going to record one harmony that uses the root note, and we're going to record another harmony that uses the fifth note. This is a really easy trick that usually works for any song, but it's quite basic. So of course, if you have better ideas for harmonies, feel free to record those. So for these specific harmonies, we are going to follow the same exact rhythm as the lead, but we are going to sing only one note, the root note in this case. So the melody of the chorus now is, I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. And we're going to sing the root note as a drone. So the root note is the first note in the scale of the key of the song. So it's gonna, the scale is ma da ba da ba da ba da ba da. So that's the root note. So instead of I only need one shot, I'm gonna go I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. It's a straight harmony, a drone is what they call it as well. So to figure out what the root note is, you wouldn't need a little bit of musical knowledge, but you can ask your producer, or you can figure out the key with some tools as well, and it's quite easy to figure out. I usually, trying to figure out the key of the song, I usually sing a scale, like da 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 da, and I sing that scale until it feels like it just clicks with the music. And again, it requires some practice, but yeah, you're going to use that scale to determine what is the root note and what is the fifth note. Now, to actually record that harmony, again, we're going to do something very similar. We're going to create a track. I'll call this one Vox Harm 1, and I'll set up so I can record to it, and I'm going to record that note on top of the vocals that I already recorded. So here we go. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. It's gonna sound quite weird, but I promise you that in the whole mix it's gonna sound pretty cool. Now we're gonna do something very similar, but for the fifth note in the key. So the fifth note in the key again is da 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 da. That's the fifth note. So the melody is gonna be I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top, etc. So I made another track called Vox Harm 2. Set it up for recording. Let's go do that. Yeah, that's one. Okay, let's go. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna sound pretty good. I'm gonna do this for the whole chorus, and I'll show you what this sounds like. All right, I recorded harmonies for the entire chorus, and I did some mixing, and I applied quite a lot of auto-tune because I guess that's what my voice needs. And with all that, it sounds like this. I only need one shot, stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Sounds pretty cool. So very simple trick to make easy harmonies and make any chorus sound bigger and more spacious, and just give a little extra to it. All right, then a last thing we want to do is add some ad-libs to the track. I feel like ad-libs are a great way to add even more dynamics to the song, add a sense of progression, and yeah, really add something powerful to the track. And when I think of ad-libs, like my mind usually jumps to singers like Ariana or like Celine Dion, who can do these amazing vocal runs and do some cool stuff. And but you could also think about rappers that like kind of react to their own vocals with and stuff like that. I'll just try to do some harmonies and improvise them. And again, excuse my not amazing voice, but I'll go ahead and I'll make another track. I'll call that one Vox Adlibs. So I'm just gonna put a section on a loop, and this is the final chorus that we're gonna add adlibs to. And I'm just gonna improvise whatever comes to mind. And yeah, we're gonna comp those the same way we did the chorus. But yeah, I'm just gonna improvise, so if it sounds bad, I'm really, really sorry, but here we go. Won't you be mine? I do have to press record. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot. I'll take you anywhere. I don't know. I only need one shot. That sucks. Okay, don't use that. We're not gonna use that. Sucks. shirt, drop top. I promise I'll take you. I'm gonna take you anywhere, yeah. Alright, so one very badly recorded harmony. One very badly recorded ad-lib, but there might be some good stuff in there. I'll just go over these ad-libs and just select the parts that I did like and that I didn't like, and make one nice ad-lib take that we can use. So admittedly, the ad-libs that I just recorded are pretty bad, but I did some mixing and applied again a lot of autotune, and yeah. I'll show you what this sounds like, so you just at least get an idea what this could sound with an actually good vocalist. Won't you be mine? I only need one shot. Stick us in a drop top. I promise I'll take you anywhere. Yeah, so again, pretty bad, but it does give a nice lift to the last chorus. It makes it feel bigger, it's busier, there's more going on. So yeah, adding ad-libs and adding good ones can really make sections pop out and add something extra to them. So just create a loop for the entire chorus and then just improvise. And just keep it on loop for as many times as you like. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You saw that I made like a lot of shitty mistakes. But you can pick and choose the cool stuff that is in that ad-lib section and combine them into one nice ad-lib section. All right, so by now you should have a really solid sounding vocal arrangement that has a lead that you comp to make as perfect as you can make it sound. You'll have sections that have doubles, so they get more powerful and more spacious. You'll have sections that have harmonies to add an extra layer, more spaciousness and more vibe. And you'll have added ad-libs to make certain sections pop, create a great sense of dynamic, and make them stand out. If you have any questions about creating the vocal arrangements, about recording, feel free to send me a message and I'd be happy to help you out.